When the chief priests and the Pharisees heard Jesus' parable, they realized that Jesus was speaking about them. That's from Matthew chapter 21, verse 45. As we continue into this year's stewardship season, this week's theme is good stewardship begins with an organization that is trustworthy. In the book, Not Your Parents' Offering Plate, a new vision for financial stewardship was given by Cliff Christopher, explaining the 3 reasons why people tend to give. The number 1 reason is a belief in that mission that is being presented. The second reason is a regard for the staff leadership and their work. And a third reason was for just plain physical or financial responsibility of being part of the organization. How can we then together cultivate an environment that will encourage one another towards ministry and mission that will thrive? The church does this. That is, the church, being all of us together, we do this by being transparent about financial processes and presenting the church honestly and vulnerably as being worthy of every dollar that is donated. Transparency builds trust and commitment from the participants inside of the mission. Where have you seen transparency in action? Well, in Matthew chapter 21, Jesus tells a parable of a landowner and the tenants who betrayed the landowner. And this parable is easily misinterpreted by those that assume it is a warning against being greedy with the punishment of death for those who withhold money from God. Many who teach this parable are happy to allow this misinterpretation to continue since it deflects away from their accountability. However, Matthew 21 verse 45 helps us to see that this is not a warning for church members, but a warning directed at Pharisees and chief priests, the religious leaders. Today, the church pastors and elected church officers are the tenants charged with caring for the vineyard and the fruit that it produces. Now the question is, will the tenants give to God the produce of the harvest, and will the pastors and church officers be responsible with the donations of the church to fulfill God's ministry and missional calling? This creates the opportunity for church officers to demonstrate the transparency of its financial operations. When church leaders present themselves to the scrutiny and of the congregation with honesty, church members will develop trust. Church members who trust the church leaders and the church's fiscal responsibilities will feel more confident that donated dollars are worth giving to the church. The good news is that Jesus is the vine, the one that does all of the supplying, and that we are the branches, the receivers of all of the good things. And it is by Christ's love that we can be fruitful and work together so that our fruitfulness and gifts remain dedicated to all of the calling that God has placed upon us. Christ invites us to work together. What a joyful and sweet opportunity it is for each one of us, church leaders and church members, partnering together and partnering with God, developing good news for us and for those that are our neighbors around us. Good stewardship begins with an organization that is trustworthy. Amen.